Well, first of all, thank you for being in W Radio in Colombia in our show. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Bryan.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. I love Colombia.
Really? What do you like
Yes,
about
really.
Colombia?
What do you mean? I love the people. I love the energy. Colombia has always been a great market. More importantly, like when you talk about stand up and the idea of like movie releases, it's a place that we've always prioritized and making sure that we give time to. And the reason for it is because of the response, the energy of the people. Great energy, great people. I'll stand on that.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, very few people have been able to switch between comedy and action movies at a high scale like you. Um, should we expect to see more action movies from you, Kevin?
Absolutely. In the future, I think I've led up to this. I think, the world of work that I've done to date has had a significant amount of action and comedy into it. This was just me switching it and prioritizing more of the serious side and letting the comedy come from the other personnel around me. But me saying like, this is the idea of leading man that I now want to play in. This is me showcasing that I can do it, and positioning myself to do more of it. But it starts with Lift. It starts with people resonating towards this and going, wow, what a great film. What a great cast. This is a global like idea, and I feel everyone can enjoy it. So I can't wait to see what the reaction is and what people say after.
Bryan, now I want to ask you because this type of movies about heist, it's been so popular again. We have the Money Heist. We have recently Berlin on December. Now we have your movie Army of Thieves. What is happening? Why people is going towards this kind of movies? This interest? Why are you doing this? Why you decided to go this way, in which it's all created and done all over Europe?
Listen, I just think that it's a genre people love, right? Everything in the business is cyclical and it's coming back around to the point you mentioned. But for us, we're going to do a heist movie that felt really different and fresh, right? And setting it in Europe and, shooting it kind of really all over Europe really made it feel just bigger and the scale was more grand and really felt unique to the genre. So for us, we love the genre, but we wanted to make sure that whatever we did, it really was different and fresh.
Well, Kevin, I want to ask you, for the last couple of years, you've dominated the stand-up comedy, and that might bother Dave Chappelle. I don't know, but it's true. The question is, how do you go from that to wrestling one of the Peaky Blinders in this movie? I mean, it's great. It's
It's
amazing.
very funny. Look, I think the world of comedy opens up the doors to do so much more. And, if you choose to go in those directions, you can discover that there's a lot of fun to be had. For me, just the creative development that comedy has positioned me to have and be a part of is beyond fun, right? And the opportunities that have come from it have been amazing. In this case, when you look at the idea of heist taking place at 40,000 feet in the air, and in this the adventure that I take you on within the gunfight in air, the fist fight, the world of running and ups and downs, and the bad guys and the landing, and we're captured, then they're captured, the landing of the plane. There's so much that happens in the air to where you feel like you're a part of a crazy ride that you don't want to end, and when it does, you feel like you just want more of it. So for me, that's fun. That's a good time. It's a good story, and hopefully, it's creativity that people want to see go on.
And Bryan, let's talk about the cast and one specific character, because I saw the link with the heist movies. That is, of course, it's the Spanish Ursula Corberó. Did you decide to got her for the film because of Money Heist? How this film happened when you pitch her the idea and, hey, we got this movie. I know that you have the expertise. You have done this before. So how was this?
No, really, it was with obviously F. Gary Gray, our incredible filmmaker who had a really strong vision for the film. But she's just so fantastic, right? And clearly she has an audience, and she really brought something to the character that we really were going for. So it wasn't a hard decision to make. You know, her name came up, and we met with her, and she just had such excitement for the role. It really was a no-brainer, and hopefully, you know, her fans also watch and feel that she also was the perfect casting for it, like we do.
And about casting, you know, we spoke about Paul Anderson from the Peaky Blinders, but this movie's casting is amazing. My colleague just named Ursula, but it goes, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio from Law and Order, also in TV, and Jan Reno. As a producer, Kevin, how much did you have to go or did you have to do with this constellation of stars joining this project?
Well, you're part of the conversation of like global of a global idea, right? Like, you know, when working with a platform like Netflix that, you know, appeals to all, it's, well, you want to make sure that you have material that they can really like grab onto and love. So how do we give you familiar faces from all over the globe? How do we put together a diverse cast and a really good cast where we feel we check all those boxes? How do we make sure that we put women in a position of power? Like, there's a lot that's going into this. There's a lot of thought. And I think that's the level of producing that sometimes is overlooked. You really want to make sure that you're thinking on a large scale so that ultimately when you have a finished product, you feel that everybody can walk away with a piece of relatability from some type of from some part of the IP. How do we make everyone happy, or how do we do our best to try to fulfill the needs of all? So yeah, those character choices and those actors that are onboarded, that's all like vetted out. Those are all very like specific things that we wanted to make sure that we got.
And Bryan, I want to talk about the production itself on the movie because there's a lot of stunts, you know, a lot of special effects, the things that happen all over the movie. I don't want to do any spoiler because if I told anything, I will ruin the movie. So I want to ask about that. Of course, which were the challenges at the time of doing these special effects and all these stunts, because it's done in the air, like Kevin has said before to us. So how this thing was created and processed and developed, of course.
Well, I mean, I would say, I mean, as you pointed out, there were some logistic kind of challenges with coordinating, I think, the stunts and the effects. But, you know, remember, you know, this really is a collaborative effort. So we had a filmmaker in F. Gary Gray who's made some of the most logistically complicated movies ever, right? So he was certainly really smart about how he planned the scenes. And then our producing partners like Simon Kinberg and Matt Reeves also do some of the biggest, most action-filled movies of all time. So for us, you know, we really were able to handle those challenges pretty well. And it really was a seamless process because of those collaborators.
Where did you guys film? I mean, in what location of the world?
Oh God, we were in Belfast in Ireland. We were in Venice. We were in Cortina. Was there any place?
London.
London. We were in London. Yeah. We touched a lot of different places.
Yep.
And you know, the backdrop of this movie, it also adds character. It actually plays a character, right? Like, you know, once again, talking about the global feel that you want. You know, we're giving you a nice view of the world. You know, there's amazing visionary attached to this movie.
Our time is ended. So thank you for being with us in W Radio. Please say hi to all our listeners in Colombia, please.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. I want to say hello, and I want to say I love you guys. And please mark your calendars. This Friday, Lift is hitting Netflix, and it is a treat. And Colombia, I will see you soon. I promise.